They made the same adjustment, and we made a great run. Teamwork. I got all my kids here, Grace and Reese and Camille, and without their help, couldn't get it done.
Guys, I'm trying to get out of him what adjustments he made. He absolutely will not tell.
Yeah, he might run for office one day. He's pretty cagey that way. Of course, he's been with General Tire for a long time as well, so served them well out here today. Well, let's talk about the Bunnages for a moment because they've had a great season with 3 wins. Unfortunately, they were not out at the first 2 pulls because they were helping out neighbors. But if we go back to 1 year ago here at the Indy Super Pull, they were the tractor to beat.
Well, you know, with just their rich history, with over 40 years of pulling, started out with their dad, you know, their father competed in the Coliseum at the Indy Super Pull, and for them to take that win, it was very, very special to their team. And even though they don't find themselves in the points race, they come out here and they're ready to win, and they're ready to compete.
I will tell you, they might have found themselves at the top of the points race had they not missed those first 2, but to them, friends and neighbors were more important. Oh yeah, talk about throwing it down. How about 344 and 80? We have a new leader, ladies and gentlemen, by 9 feet.
Stan Shelton might have hit it when he said the adjustments that they made to the chassis out there because the Bunnages and Tim Engler worked together to build this chassis, and they said that's what propelled them to the top in the points race last year. And if you've got a good foundation for your motors and a good foundation to hold all that power to put it in the ground, you're going to have a great run just like that. There's
his brother right there flagging him on. He sets up that tractor, and yeah, there's the excitement. You think there isn't some passion out here? Crashes over there with Steve Bunnage, our new leader.
Something going on in the Bunnage camps. Was it sitting around on the starting line and being able to really think through the changes to make? You just got knocked it out by 9 feet?
No, just trying to compete what we did last year. We won it last year, and Wayne's brother was on the track looking at it, and we just compared notes from last year and what we pulled a couple of weeks ago, and it just made a good run.
Well, yeah, it made a good run, but Wayne's not driving. You are.
No, everybody said I was a better driver, but I can't get down the track unless he helps set it up. If he don't do his job on the track, I can't go nowhere.
Look at this brotherly love.
You know what? That chemistry is huge, and those guys have it going on. There's your Geico top 3 that takes a licking, has set the mark. The Lucas Oil Motorsports Hour is brought to you by MagnaFlow Exhaust Products. The first thing you hear, the last thing you see. All right, welcome back to the Speedco Pro Pulling Nationals presented by Toyota. As they start up a pair of those turbines. LD is the man behind the wheel, and Crash Gladys spoke to him earlier.
Well, we hope we found a problem. We have changed gears. Usually you can change gears on these things when you build a new rig, and it'll take you 4 or 5 pulls to get it right, but we've changed, and we've changed computers, we've changed everything, and finally a week ago, we just bought a new set of tires, and it's about 90 days old, and we was running them. Finally, we said, you know, them tires, maybe it's them tires, they're brand new, we're gonna put another set on. So we bought a set here a week ago, and we went and pulled it, and it seemed like it pulled like it should back to old normal again. So hopefully we found it, because we've done everything, I'm telling you.
But you're telling me your tires were only 90 days old or less than that, yet that might have been the issue all along?
Yeah, sometimes you can buy a new set of tires and they're not good, and you know, you hope that ain't the case, and that's the reason we kept going back, changing other stuff, because, well, you know, them tires probably, they're okay. We thought about it because the guy or two before us bought new tires that wasn't good, but still, that's kind of hard to believe. So we changed them here a week ago and pulled it, and it seemed like it might be back to where it should be now. Hopefully it is.
You are a former Indy winner. Could this be your magical night? Let's hope.
Well, I hope so. You know, I always had good luck at Indy. We won the first year they come back here and had it. Then the last 2 years we haven't won. Maybe we can get a win tonight. Who knows? If the tires work, maybe so.
Well, and just to elaborate on that a little bit, a lot of times those tires can be sitting in a warehouse for months and months, and they cure and they get hard. They're just not as pliable. It can even go as far as to have a good one on the right side and one that's not working on the left side or vice versa. So, yeah, tires are a huge part of what's happening out here, and you have to make sure that they're fresh, new, pliable, and doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, these double cut tires, you can see he's got a little bit more of a sharper edge on it so that when they grow, there's not as much tire out there hitting the dirt, but problems awfully early. You know, you hate to see this for LD Nation, you know, a champion in the sport who's just really struggling this year.
So we'll take another look here. A lot of violent hops there early on. Maybe something in the drive line broke right there. I doubt if it was power plants. Whatever it was, it just gave up instantly.
Well, but we saw Derek Bargie's Apache hop off the line, and it could just be that this Indy Super Bowl track is not one for turbines. You know, the turbines are a little bit more temperamental and need a little bit different track.
And there was a lot of sparks out of the gearbox there, the transfer case, if you will, right at the very end of that run. So something given up, unfortunately, for LD Nation. Well, the fans here, as you can see, have packed the stands. They are enjoying a beautiful but very warm day out here at the Indy Super Bowl. Hope you're enjoying it as well. To keep up with all the action, all you have to do is go to propulling.com. And you can keep up with all the news and stories and, of course, the schedule. We'd love to see you out here at one of our events. Jamie Austin is next.
Of course, Jamie Austin coming up in the Predator here. And you can see a little bit different injector hat on these motors. These are Chevrolets. You're seeing a lot of heavies as far as the automotive engines. But, man, he's fighting the bounce out here, too, and just can't ever get the tires hooked up to the track.
And I will say we've seen actually the same problem happen in the four-wheel drive category at this track. So during this day pull here, these guys are struggling. You have to find the sweet spot. And those three have managed to do so. They're your Geico top three. The Lucas Oil Motorsports Hour is brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink, the world's most powerful energy drink. Ah, yes, just a beautiful day here in Indianapolis, Indiana, the heartland of America. Well, a little bit earlier today, we had a chance to talk to Don Nelson, driver of the Texas Bullwhip out of Cat Springs, Texas.
The way I got started in pulling was my dad, of course, and I think I was 7 or 8 years old. We went to a local fair and took the farm tractor to a pull, and that was back in 1971. And 1973, he built his first modified tractor, and I've been around it ever since. I've never missed a year of pulling.
And a unique combination here, a couple of automotive style engines, one industrial style power plant up in the front, which is drastically different.
And you've got one engine building boost pressure, you know, you've got the other one that's supercharged and turbocharged, and he is definitely committed to getting them to work.
Well, none of it is happy right now. Again, fighting the massive hop here on this track, 253 and change, and not even in the hunt here. You've got to get out past the 330 mark if you're going to play ball with these guys here today. And unfortunately, that combination just was not happy.
Well, and the hops that these tractors are experiencing out here can also probably be attributed to the fact that you've got these big, wide, 30.5-inch tires, and you've got the decision maker sled back there, which Scott Tedder said you just want to hammer on it right out of the gate. Well, when you pour all the power right away to those tires on the starting line, it's going to create big holes on the starting line. So what the drivers are going to have to do to avoid the hops is going to have to drive it out a little further past those holes. But when they do that, they know that they lose all the forward momentum and the ground speed that they need to make a good pass. So they're willing to try to sacrifice that and take a chance on hopping off the starting line in order to get their ground speed up.
Shannon Leischner here, and unfortunately with the dirt challenger, he will struggle as well. We heard his father, of course, Bill, talk about changing the diff in the back of that one. Let's see if we can find out what went wrong, but again, just massive hops, and the turbine tractors are struggling out here today. And
they are running about 2,000 less horsepower than the automotive reciprocating engines, so it could be this Indy track. It's just a high horsepower track.
Now Shannon Leischner, done here for the day, will not be in the hunt. We'll take a look at our General Tire results. Congratulations to Steve Bunnage. Takes a licking, gets the job done out here today in a big way. That tractor definitely had some steam at 344 feet. Let's get it down to Crash with our winner.
Well, guys, it's back-to-back Indy wins, but I want to talk a little bit about this brotherly, I guess, rivalry, shall we say, going on. You call yourself the monkey in the seat. You say you're bringing in the money and Wayne's spending it. Who cares? You're winning, guys.
Yeah, we're winning, and it's just awesome to run here at the Indy Super Bowl again. I mean, Lucas puts on a good show. E3's sponsoring this awesome class with the big, powerful motors. I mean, you can't beat it, but I can't get down the track, and if it wasn't for Wayne help setting the tractor up. He reads the track. He looks at it. I'm in the back there running the computer on the fuel system. It takes both of us to get down the track.
Wayne, you're shaking your head. Yes, you are a part of this, of course.
Yeah, he was in the seat, and I was like making last-minute decisions, and it worked perfect. I mean, you couldn't beat that pass. It was like something out of a storybook.
So keep Steve in the seat the rest of the season.
I think I'm going to have to keep him in the seat, that's for sure.
And a little bit of regret on your part?
Well, I wish I could sit in the seat and drive that good and be on the ground, but I said it's just better for us the way we're doing it.
Okay, let's go celebrate this win.
Yeah, let's celebrate. But we also got to thank all the sponsors, Geico, Lucas Oil, and MagnaFlow, but especially E3. I mean, they sponsoring this awesome class, and you just can't beat it.
All right, we'll take a look at the points here as well. Speaking of E3 spark plugs, and there's a look at it. This one will be a battle right down to the end. It always is. Once again, we'll go back down to Crash as she is with second place.
Well, guys, second place, not so shabby, Michael Stewart. And again, taking the seat away from your brother. It's your time in the spotlight.
Well, that's just the way we drawed it. He figured all of it out, and it was just my turn, and it worked.
Of course it works when it's your turn because you're a good driver.
I guess so, but he won it last weekend, so we'll just keep sharing, I guess.
All right, when we come back, it'll be the Unlimited Super Stockers. You don't want to miss it. We'll have a lot of fun. Stay with us here at the Indy Super Bowl. The Lucas Oil Motorsports Hour is brought to you by K&N Filters, the world's best air filter. All right, welcome back to the Speedco Pro Pulling Nationals presented by Toyota. Here's a look at the results from the two-wheel drive category. We talked about Stan Shelton before. Well, there's a look at the General Tire truck.
When it's a completely different driving style from the mods to the two-wheelers, but you gotta love the amazing wheel stands that these guys make. 3,500 horsepower on a super light truck, and it takes a lot of finesse to win in this category.
They are a sight for all the fans. They love the supercharged power plants. They are loud at full song, big-time wheel stands, and more importantly, the multi-truck teams that share so much information. It is tough to win out here in this class.
And Jeremy Nelson gets it done, a part of a 5-truck team, and he puts 20 feet or more on the competition out here to take the win. And you can see the disappointed look on the faces of Team Tatum there. Tony Tatum had held second place for the longest time, and it came down to the very last hook of the night where he lost his lead.
Absolutely. There's a look at the results in the two-wheel drive category, and we're about to shift gears and go into the Unlimited Super Stockers. And visually, they kind of look like a pro stock tractor, if you will, the smokers that come out here, the 10,000-pound class. But all of these have been converted over. They run on alcohol, they run on methanol, so you'll see no smoke out of these. And of course, they produce way more horsepower. We're talking upwards of 4,500 horsepower. They're a handful, to say the least.
When they're very light, considering how much horsepower that they're making, 8,000 pounds, big tires, you know, and it's hard to harness all that in and to hook it up to the track. You can just see the amazing wheel speed that they have just coming right off the line. What it seems like Jason Evans and the Ryan's Toy 2 here, just a little dogged out there, not the run that you normally expect to see out of the Roberts Pulling Team machines.
And from what we're understanding, he will turn that pull down, so we'll see him a little bit later on in the category. Here comes the Triple X driven by Frank Keener.
And he's a champion with the Ohio State Tractor Pullers, and that's a member state organization here with the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League, but decided to test his luck out here with the big boys, and this is his initial season or inaugural season here on the Champions Tour.
All right, he was using the steering wheel a bunch. Of course, that is absolutely useless in the middle of one of those pulls, but it's a natural reaction. But unfortunately, he did have to do some steering, and anytime you do that, it takes some distance away. But you can see how busy these guys are, man. The open dips on the back of these things, and they will steer you to the right or to the left very quickly.
And of course, they also have individual rear brakes, and so right foot on right brake, left foot on left brake. The steering wheel's up in the air. It's not going to do you any good. So you can go from side to side.
We'll come back here once again, and of course this Evans team is also big. They have the big toy 2, Ryan's toy 2. So a lot of information there to swap back and forth.
And of course, Jason Evans swapping tractors as he's doing double driving duty tonight. And a little bit of slip up, you can hear it just get in and out of the throttle there right off the starting line.
Yeah, he started to build some boost and then got out of it and then picked it back up again. Kind of a strange situation there. Unfortunately, it will hurt him big time at 266.6.
Well, the Roberts team really, their hands full here. You know, they've got 3 unlimited Superstocks tractors fighting in the category. They've got modifieds to deal with, lots of maintenance out there for their team as well. But they are coming up just a little bit short here tonight with their setup.
Well, one guy that has not been coming up short is this one. He has been tough all season long. How about a 3-pull win streak? We're talking about the Running Bear, and that one knows how to make some steam, and they've really put it together the last couple of years.
One in the last 6 pulls, he hasn't finished worse than 4th.
The Running Bear, of course, driven by Jeff Hurt, and kind of looking around there at that one, that helmet off in a flash.
Felt something give, and evidently he's checking out the tractor to see what it was. But a great run there at 3:04 and 17. Going to be your new leader here with that wild run. And just check out the torque and the twist on that chassis. Just amazing with these machines.
Boy, immediately that whole tractor just went off to the left. Look at him looking over. I mean, his brain is way out in front of what anything that tractor's going to throw at him. He's looking around. He's looking for the mark to beat. He's looking off to the left. The guy holding the flags. I mean, he is on it right there. Really, more importantly, he just wants to make sure he gets past that leaderboard to take it over, and that's exactly what he does. Jeff Hurt, Running Bear, looking to expand on that points lead. He's your part of your Geico top 3. This telecast is brought to you by General Tire. Unleash the fury. K&N, the world's best air filter. And by Canada, healthy natural nutrition for your pets. The Lucas Oil Motorsports Hour is brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Made in America, sold to the world. Ah, yes, Bambi.
Sweet, innocent, pretty looking.
Absolutely nothing in association with that tractor other than it does look nice, because there's nothing sweet and innocent about an unlimited Superstocker.
Well, it has nice, clean lines, and hey, Ken, it is a deer.
It's a really aggressive, angry deer. Watch it.
I don't think I'd like to look for this one during hunting season.
When he had the RPMs up, it sounded like it started to pull it down. He might have been working the clutch just a little bit as the RPMs did come back up. That or he got some tire spin, but nonetheless, whatever it was, never really got it in the sweet spot.
Well, and there's some family rivalry going on here with the Keeners there. That was Dwayne Keener doing the driving. Of course, we saw his son Frank doing the driving in the Triple X. So it's kind of a household divided there with the red and green tractors coming out of the same trailer every pull.
All right, the Big Toy 2 is up next, and you can see he's way off to the right-hand side of the track and almost aimed towards the left side of the track.
Well, the Roberts pulling team here just trying anything to get these tractors down to where they need to be to put them in the heat of the battle.
Boy, and again, he just can't make it happen here. These guys, and it's such a quality team, are struggling a bit out here tonight. 278.18, a good bit from our leader here at 304.
And it seemed like it never really cleaned up and got to that loud rumble that they have out there. It was just always in and out, and just never like a nice, sweet, solid song.
And lessons learned, driven by Neil Gettinger. Nice, clean look. I mean, you look at the side of that one for a moment, you might think it's just a stock tractor. And the distance for him will be 295.06. And a great effort right there. That's good enough to propel him up into third.
when you can see as he walks it out there off the line, you know, those tires are spinning awful hard, but they don't hook up until right there when you see the front end just launch up in the air. It's dangling, and with that open rear end, those tires can squat down and sink and sashay around back there to help it move down the track.
And it's quite a dance because the tractors, as you might imagine, are really set up for when the sled has that transfer box come all the way forward. So when they're first pulling out there, they don't have the rear tires planted, so they have to be a bit careful. But once that transfer box starts to apply some weight to those rear tires, then it's max boost, max horsepower, wide open throttle, the front end comes up, and then the magic is starting to happen. Right there, nice and easy, and here comes the weight. Boom, here we go.
And Jason Evans just hoping he can get a better effort out of the Ryan's Toy 2 there than he did on his first pass.
And you know, we talk about transferring information, but unfortunately for these guys, they've yet to have a good pull, so they've just missed it all the way around. It's very rare for this team to do that, but unfortunately these guys were just a bit off the mark here today.
Well, you take a look at the general tire results. It's Jefford that's forging his way to the top of the class and trying to gain points in this close points race. Crashes with them.
Well, guys, the win is all that matters. Sometimes it doesn't matter how pretty it was. This was not a pretty one, but who cares? It's Indianapolis. You got the win.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a pretty run, but like you say, a win's a win. Hey, we got to thank all our sponsors, Lucas Oil. I got to thank our sponsors, Ferris Commercial Mowers, Steyer Seeds, everything they do for us, Mom and Dad, Mac Trailers. Hey, the whole crew, brother-in-law, his wife, my wife, everybody here, they just make us all work.
All right, here's a look at the E3 Spark Plugs points. And yeah, Jeff Hurt and the gang, they're slowly picking away at this thing at Keener. Let's talk to second.
Well, guys, he pretty much hit the spot right at the 300 mark. That's not too shabby. Right here in Indy, second place. Congrats.
It's not too bad, but we'd like to get a little bit farther, you know. Jeff Hurt's a great competitor. He's a great driver. We really wanted to have a pull-off. We thought they was going to have one at 300 feet. We wanted another shot at him. We thought we could have got him tonight.
Oh, you would have. He broke.
Well, yeah, if he broke, but even if he's running strong, we want another shot at him.
I'd say what? Hamburg, Wheatland?
Well, we're coming